Most lenders expect the intermediary market share to remain level, with just over a third expecting it to increase. This contrasts with intermediaries, where 63% expect to increase market share and 29% expect it to remain level. So, starting with Louisa, what are your thoughts? Has the market peaked for intermediaries?
I think there's a little way to go, and I think then we'll see a balance for the next 2 or 3 years. Ultimately, I think the eye will be on the larger lenders to see how they want to work their models going forward, because at the moment, they're reliant upon a lot of intermediary business, and whether that's going to be the mainstay going forward, I'm not entirely convinced.
Yes, I think that's right. I mean, you could argue this is the golden period for intermediated lending, and with advances in technology and everything else, and in the way people act as consumers, there's all sorts of potential changes coming through the system, which could mean that having a human being somewhere in that process becomes less relevant. And big lenders are obviously looking at all of that. And potentially investing into that. Having said that, I agree with Louisa that there are still a large number of lenders who are struggling with their direct sales through their branches, ultimately recognise that's an investment that's proving difficult to achieve the volumes they want, and they will put more effort into intermediary. Plus all the new entrants are of course going direct to intermediary. So, I mean, put all that together, and we certainly are in a period, I'd probably go a bit longer than that, but 3 to 5 years where the intermediary share I could see continue to creep up a bit, and across all markets, because obviously it's stronger in some markets than others, and we've still got the non-prime credit market to come back fully, and that tends to be fully intermediated. So by segment and by entrant we'll see some growth, and then the question is, how's the new technology emerged? Where are we going? Where will all that end up in regulatory terms and elsewhere? And therefore opening the question about how other people may then change the way they buy products and how other people change the way they sell products.
And I think that's absolutely right. Peter's analysis is absolutely right. That's why I think you're seeing that higher underpin of intermediaries thinking the market's going to go their way, because looking at new entrants and the direction of travel, that's the way it's going to be. Look at the survey participants from a lender perspective, they're predominantly larger players who see their ability to control the market to a degree as being more part of what they're able to do over time. Therefore, I think that's why there's that relative disparity. And I think the interesting part will be how they choose to do that, where I think they're going to start initially to take much more control over the remortgage product transfer type part of the landscape, whereas the purchase home mover type landscape is still going to be very much part of the intermediary domain. So it will depend on how those relative markets move over time as to how that market share plays out. So whilst we have a benign economy moving forwards and interest rates low, then I think we'll see intermediary market share grow. If we go back into a period of retrenchment and purchase drops off for whatever reason, then the market share may decline, but it depends on that bigger macro picture as to how that market share plays out over a period of time.
And of course, we are in what is described as a low transactions environment, where fewer people are transacting at any time. Much turns here on, the future of the government's initiatives around boosting home ownership again. Much turns on what their curbs on the private rented sector have, both of which, if they fail, if you like, or succeed maybe in the curbs on the private rented sector, that could slow the number of transactions even more, which of course then has an impact on the volumes and the business that might be generated through the intermediary sector. So I think there are an awful lot of unknowns in this, let alone Brexit and anything else. Your surveys will become very important.